in history, all 4 belts in the cruiserweight division will belong proudly around the waist of one man.
Wingy Boxing, IFL TV, Dave Coldwell, big smile on his face. What are you smiling for? Happy? Feeling good?
It's been a good day. We've had a good day in the gym, so yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Mondays are always good.
What's the session been like with Tony? Everything going good?
Yeah, very good. Very good session today. Doing a few little bits of different stuff. He's adapted to really well, and it's been hard work, but quality work.
How are you feeling about the HAYE fight coming up? Have you got? Do you get nerves for your fight, or get nerves at the situation, or do you?
I don't get nervous, but I get nervous for I feel the nerves of my fighters because I know what it means to them. You know what they sacrifice, where it takes them after. You know, there's different elements, but you spend hours and hours and hours with these people, and you know they're your friends, and you know exactly what it means to them. So there are nerves. There's anxious moments, and you feel that.
I never got to talk to you about the second HAYE BELLEW presser. What do you think about this new calmer, zen-like David HAYE? Is it
Did
you think about that? You don't think about that when you do tactics now, do you?
No,
of course not.
No. I mean,
you keep doing your thing, don't you?
Yeah. Whatever anybody else wants to do, it has no bearing on what Tony Bellew will do and what we do in the gym. That's their life. We can't control what they're doing, so there's no point in worrying about what they're doing. You know. But as far as you know, his persona and everything at the presses, if it works for him, then fair play, and that's great. But if it's something that he's trying to be and he's having to force himself to be, then it's not natural, and although you're trying to be calm and not burn energy and not be wound up, you're actually burning more energy by doing something that's alien to yourself, yeah. and not natural, and you're not comfortable with. But again, like I said, regardless, it doesn't mean anything. But we're not really asked about that.
Because you've always got that sort of ever-present risk with David HAYE, haven't you? I mean, even if he's looking a little bit rusty, not so much rusty, but in the last fight when he was missing shots early on, that power that can snap at any moment. Do you? I'm not asking you to give away game plan, but obviously you have to take that into account, don't you? Sort of like
for his power.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. But power's power. You have to cater for somebody's ability as well, and he's a great fighter. Got bags of talent. The HAYE that we got in March of last year wasn't the HAYE that we was expecting. We was expecting a better version. We prepared for a better version, but now we know we'll get that better version, so we're preparing for an even better version than we were originally prepared for. So you have to cover all bases, but ultimately you can say what you want about how he's going to be, what he's going to do different and everything, but he's got to adapt to Tony Bellew, because Bellew can fight in a number of ways. He can adapt in there. He's a fighter that if he needs to fight, he can fight. If he needs to box, he can box. If he needs to, he can adapt to all sorts. He's been there, seen it, and done it. And ultimately, he's had real fights. And that's not knocking it. Listen, if you go out and you're blasting everybody out at your fight for the majority of your career, then you're not really learning that much on the job. Yes, you're learning in the gym and what have you, but actually under the lights and different situations, you're not encountering them. When you're having hard fights and real fights and a lot of fights where you're seen as the underdog and you're still prevailing, still coming through. Yes, you might have lost one or two, but you're gathering that knowledge about yourself and what you can do. There's a lot to be said about that. You can count on the hand of real fights that David HAYE's had in his career. He's had very few real fights because his power's always got rid of the guys first. Even early on in his career when he's fought, when you fight the faded names to get the experience, whereas a kid that maybe isn't such an explosive puncher, he does get the experience of being in the ring with those fighters, because he goes rounds. Whereas if you're fighting name fighters, way back to people like Arthur Williams and stuff like that, where you're blasting them out in a round or two, you're not really getting anything. You're getting their name on the record, but you're not actually soaking up the experience of the little tricks that they do and things like that, and sussing that out because you haven't spent enough time in the ring with them. So Bellew as a fighter is very, very underrated because people don't see that. And for all you can walk into a million gyms around the world and see kids on a bag, on the pads, shadowboxing that look absolutely amazing. You think, who's that? Never thought. Or who's that? And his record's not all that, but it looked fantastic. But then when people get into the ring, the situation that in the ring, can they handle A, B, C, and D?
And if
I believe that Bellew's a more rounded fighter.
And if Hayes hit pops this time, you tell Bellew to chill, stay easy, don't go swinging. Is that what we're looking at this time?
He'd just come back to the corner, I'd rub his ears, I'd just go woosah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like I've said before, emotions, you can't count for emotions, and something like that in a supercharged fight, when you see something extraordinary happen, it's extraordinary because it's not an ordinary thing. It's not something you see every day, and so you don't know how you're going to react to it. Now he's experienced that. He's got a point of reference to where he can think, oh, I remember what I did last time. I didn't do it very well. Stick to what I'm doing, you know. But you know, I don't. For the way that he's changed, you can see that he's changed his training, and you know, looking after himself and his body. I don't think you're going to see any injuries from David A this time round.
Jamie McDonnell-INOUE. Now, when I first heard about this, I was going to text you like, "Is this happening?" And then I thought to myself, already, I'll be honest, I kind of like, you know how people sometimes underestimate Jamie McDonnell.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. Though? And I caught myself doing it, and I thought, well, hold on a minute. Why can't he do this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did you think? Because he hadn't heard of him at first, did he?
He's not heard of anybody. Listen, if you have a conversation with him and you say to him, if we're talking about, even I remember we had a conversation about Sugar Ray Leonard in here, and he actually said to one of us, "Oh, are you all right?" Like,
yeah, he's not. I've read that as well. He's not like,
he doesn't know anything about fighters, about anything. So, you know, it works for him. That's how he is. You know, some people, his twin brothers, the opposite. Gav McDonnell, he watches boxing, he studies boxing, but Jamie, he's got no interest in knowing about other fighters.
Just fighting, making them.
He just loves to fight. He loves to get in that ring. He loves to spar. He loves to fight. You know, he loves to do what we do on the floor, learning. When he's got a challenge in front of him, he loves nothing better than everybody else thinking that he's going to get beat.
I got you.
When he's in a fight against somebody that nobody else has heard of, because he's never going to have heard of anybody, but when he's in a fight with where nobody else is talking about and nobody else is saying, "Oh, you're in deep water here," and that, he doesn't get up for them sort of fights. When he's in a fight where everyone he reads Twitter or you know, he hears what people say,
like this one anyway, yeah.
Then he's buzzing, and he's as soon as that fight got made, he's like a different kid.
How do you approach the training to that? Because Inoue is a serious threat.
Very, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Do you? It's always hard to do these interviews because I don't.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Can I just say to you though?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Can I just say to you though? If you look back at a lot of our fights from the fighters in this gym, we're the underdog, or majority of people think that we're going to get beat a lot of times. So it's nothing new to us. We just approach each fight pretty much the same, where you know we want to get the best out of my fighters. You know, they've got to go in there, they've got to train to become the best that they can be on that night, whatever situation it is, whether they're going to have to go forward, whether they have to go backwards, whether under pressure, whether they're chasing, and they've just got to perform to the best of their ability, and their ability has to improve week in, week out in here. So that's how we kind of like approach fights, and then obviously there's certain things that you have to adapt to for a game plan as opponent.
Sorry, I've got to go, can't miss tipping point.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for the interview, brother.
That's it. Pleasure, but can't miss tipping point.
Yeah. When you got that Inoue call, what went through your mind? Be honest to me. Me and you, Dave.
I'll be honest with you. I was excited for Jamie because I knew he'd straight up for it. All I said to Eddie said to me, he said, would you fancy it? I said, yeah. I said, I know for a fact Jamie will fancy it. I said, as long as money's right, I said, he'll take it, because he said to me he wants a fight that's going to get him out there, and he wants a fight where he's going to get credit for winning. You know, no disrespect to some other fighters that are out there that could have been made. It's a case of so what. He's been to Texas twice, been to America twice, and beaten one of their next superstars in CANELO. And basically, he's got no credit for it. You know, no real boost in his profile and Yeah.
Do you think it's because the first one was close, wasn't it? The first one.
I didn't think it was that close.
Didn't you?
We won it, but it was a hard fight. It was a close fight, but we won it. There's no suspicion or anything there. But the second fight was easy. So you look at that and you say, well, you know, he went out there and did that. But he's not had any. People don't get behind him like you would have thought they might have done. His profile's still not great. Now, if he goes and beats whoever, it's just another defence. It's just another fight. It doesn't really go anywhere. And he's getting bored of them sort of fights.
Right, so this has got him up, him right.
This is where he knows for a fact he's fighting a guy
Dave, if he does this, man, this is it.
Pound for pound number 8 in Ring Magazine.
If he does this is it, isn't it?
Yeah, he goes out there and wins that fight. It's like he said to me, Jamie McDonnell's never been interested in sort of things, but he said to me the other day, do you know if I go over there and I win, does that mean that I go pound for pound in top 10? Well, not being funny, you've beaten pound for pound number 8. Why not?
But you know what happened?
You've been world champion for God knows how many years.
You know what happened? He's inexperienced.
Of course.
Oh,
he's not that inexperienced because he's won 2 world titles already. Do you know, and he's the next superstar, and he's pound for pound number 8. So at the end of the day, Jamie goes over there and pulls off this win, then he deserves to be treated like an absolute star because the guy keeps going abroad to take these challenges. You know, he'll fight anybody, and you know that's what we're going for. Listen, don't get me wrong.
Sorry, go on.
Don't get me wrong. The payday is good. It's not his biggest payday, but the payday is good.
Yeah.
But he's going over there because of what it actually does. Now, for Jamie McDonnell, his attitude was completely different. A year, 18 months ago, it was just about money. Now it's like he wants to. He's excited because what people think about him after this win, and that's what makes things exciting for me as well.
How do you balance all these fighters? Because you was going to give it up until Tony got back to you.
Yeah, I did.
How do you balance all this?
I think I spent a couple of years away from training fighters.
Because you got the HAYE fight coming up, Inoue.
Yeah, straight after. So basically, after it, do you know what? The only thing that it is, I love what I do, but the only thing that it does is it makes me spend time away from the family. So after, so I'll be down London for fight week for the HAYE fight. And then straight away the next day basically I'm going to be flying to Japan for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm really not going to see me kids and my wife for a month, and I'm no good on my own.
Yeah, I got it, yeah. I'm the same. I'm getting up here, I'm like, babe, where we're going? Where's Rotherham Station, babe? I'm no good about my wife. I'm pathetic.
So yeah, so that's the only downside to what I do, but I love what I'm doing. I don't train a dozen fighters, you know. I've got my 5 fighters, and we train. They don't train all together. They overlap, so we have the banter and so they're all part of a team. Some sessions they're together, but as a main, they don't all train together. And that's what takes the bulk of my day up. But that's what I do. That's
the job.
Do you know what? It's not even a job. I don't even call it a job. I'm lucky that I don't get up in the morning and think, oh fucking hell, I've got to work. I just come to the gym.
My boss might be watching this. So
I just
we've all been there.
Yeah, I just come to the gym, and I'm fortunate enough to work with some talented people that trust me with their careers, and regardless of what anybody else thinks, that's all that matters really. And it's all, touch wood, so far so good, it's going alright.
Can I get your thoughts on the Canelo-Clemburo situation?
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
I've done my podcast, and all my podcast was like, I can't do this. I'm such a big Canelo fan, but I can't take this no more.
Yeah.
Something's got to be done. I actually said I'd be happy if they cancelled the fight, and I want to see it so much, but the precedent that would set would be...
See, that's exactly how I see it. I got asked, funny enough, by Boxing News today, and I've more or less said the same thing. A fail is a fail. It's failed. My big thing is, right, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of athletes, not just boxing, there's a lot of athletes that are failing dope tests and saying, it's Mexican meat. Oh, didn't know anything about it, it's Mexican meat. Alright, fair enough, so all of them have failed by Mexican meat. So you're Canelo Alvarez, you're with Golden Boy, you're the probably the biggest name in
You
world
can't
boxing,
import me.
right? And are you telling me that as a so I'm a coach. I just work with a few fighters here, right, in little old England. But if we had an issue of dodgy British beef, right, or dodgy chicken or whatever, where fighters, athletes were failing drugs tests, I guarantee you now, I would be on my fighter's case and not allow any of them to have dodgy chicken from this country or beef from this country. You'd get it imported, or just don't eat that. Now, if you're Canelo, you have shitloads of money. Golden Boy have shitloads of money. Are you telling me in your millions and millions and millions of pounds, you can't afford to import meat if you need to have steak or beef, right? Are you telling me you can't import that from Argentina or wherever, anywhere except Mexico? You can't do that. Bullshit.
I can't buy it.
So that's what I'm saying. Is even if if he is clean, if he is, because you can't say 100%.
Of course not. Yeah, we've got to say that,
because they're saying it's a meat, and there is issues about meat, and there's only small traces which fits in with the meat contamination sort of measures. So let's just say, yeah. But then he deserves to be banned.
He's still got
because he still had the Mexican meat.
It's still within the system, yeah.
So at the end of the day, also what you got to remember is clenbuterol. It can be used to mask other things. So I don't know. For me, out of stupidity, then he should serve a ban anyway, because he's got no excuse. They have millions. They spend a fortune on training camps, and you are in a country. You live in a country where you know that the meat's dodgy and you can fail dope tests. Why would you do that? You won't, unless you're just using it as an excuse because you failed a PES test. So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that even though I can't wait for a rematch, I think that if you ban Canelo, the fight's off, you ban him, and then you look at it and think everybody looks at him. Well, the sport's biggest star has been banned.
That'd be it would
that's
set
a
massive
big
example.
precedent, that is, and that's a big statement. That's a huge statement. And then they're gonna, well, if they're gonna ban the biggest star in boxing, then they're gonna ban me.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to do that. And I think that's what you need to do. Whatever you keep making excuses for people and brushing things under the carpet, people are going to think, I'll blame me, I'll blame this, I'll blame that, and they think they're going to get away with it. So yeah, I think you should serve a ban, definitely.
Dave Coldwell, I'm going to go and have a clenbuterol chili con carne now, a bit of beef in it. I'm getting hungry. Thank you for giving me your time.
No problem.
I appreciate the opportunity you give me, man. Thank you for speaking to IFL TV.
Always a pleasure.
Good luck with the fights.
Cheers.
And we'll catch up soon, brother.
Thanks, mate.
All 4 belts in the cruiserweight division will belong proudly around the waist of one man.